The world's going to heck. Your neighbor just turned into a squid. Don't fight chaos. Embrace it. Tzeentch. Change we can believe in. So Tzeentch hasn't changed a whole lot from the previous edition, which is strange considering that that's Tzeentch's whole thing. A lot of their stuff has just gotten more refined. Fate points you still get from successful casts, friendly or enemy. Your locus is still mostly the same. Your enemies suffer a -1 to hit your demons while they're close to a demon hero. One new thing, though, that we have is a new beginning of the game ability that Tzeentch has. Before the game starts, if any of your heroes know one of the Tzeentch Endless spells, which is the Tome of Eyes, the Demonic Simulacrum, or the Blazing Icon, they can cast it for free before the game starts. Nobody can do anything about it. You can't unbind it in the first game turn, so that's amazing. It is a free cast that counts because it says they are casting it without paying for it, so you're getting a fate point. And if you're casting the Tome of Eyes, you're getting the Tome of Eyes, which is going to help you cast things. If you're casting the Simulacrum, you can just throw it in somebody's face. If you're casting the Icon, you can protect important artifacts or objectives with the Icon. And until their next turn, there's nothing your opponent can do about that. That's amazing. The best unit is definitely hard to think about in this new book. I would have to say one of the top spots has to go to Kairos Fateweaver, who has always been a powerhouse in Age of Sigmar, but even more so now. The refinements that they've made to him have changed the way he works just enough that I think he is just an extremely powerful character. So, his Oracle of Eternity ability, which used to be a little bit weird and didn't really see a whole lot of use, is really incredible now because you still have your Destiny dice, which is the 9 dice you put aside at the beginning that you can replace a roll with if you want. Now, if you have Kairos Fateweaver, if you begin your hero phase with less than 9 Destiny dice, you get another one, which is amazing. It rewards you for spending your Destiny dice and having Kairos, because Kairos just gives you a Destiny dice, and there's still the spell to summon another Destiny dice, so spending Destiny dice isn't that much of a big deal anymore, which is good because there is also a new grand strategy, which says if you have Destiny dice that equal a certain number, you complete the grand strategy. So you might not want to spend your Destiny dice, but if you've got Kairos on the battlefield, especially if Kairos knows the spell to summon Destiny dice, you're just going to be reloading your Destiny dice every turn. It's amazing. So, Tzeentch actually doesn't have a whole lot of inbuilt combos like it used to. You would used to be the Zangors. The Zangor Shaman would just buff all of your Zangors, but he doesn't do that anymore. He's kind of his own thing, as are the Enlightened and the Skyfires. You don't need a Shaman to get the power out of them. You don't even need to go first or second to get the power out of them. As long as they're there, they're going to get all of their strength. Now, the Enlightened do get more power if you're taking the second battle round, but they don't have to go second in combat anymore, which is really good because they were just kind of getting bowled over. But Tzeentch doesn't really have combos. Everything kind of stands on its own. Now, you want to keep your heroes close to your guys, especially if you're playing a solidly demon army, because your demonic heroes empower every one of your demons, but that's just the rule if you're playing one of the Chaos Demon factions, whether you're in Slaanesh, or Khorne, or Nurgle, or Tzeentch. You want to keep your heroes close to your chaff. One thing that is interesting, though, one thing that is cool, it's not really a combo, but it's cool, is that now when you summon a Chaos Spawn, you will be summoning a Chaos Spawn of Tzeentch, which is better because a Chaos Spawn of Tzeentch, if a wizard is within 9 inches of the Chaos Spawn and successfully casts a spell that is not unbound, your Chaos Spawn of Tzeentch heals all of its wounds. So you turn an enemy into a spawn, if it's protecting a wizard, and it starts attacking that enemy, sure, your spawn's going to take some damage. But then that enemy player has to decide, do I want my wizard to cast a spell and potentially heal this spawn and give you a fate point? Or do I waste my cast? This army is, as you would expect from the armies of Tzeentch, they capitalize on spellcasting. And if you're fighting a spellcasting army, you're going to get more power out of it as long as you make sure that casts are happening. So you kind of have to manipulate the flow of magic. You have to make sure you're getting casts, and you have to make sure your opponent isn't unbinding them, and at the same time, you have to allow your opponent to maybe get a couple of spells off. So if you're fighting a spellcasting army, like, say, Lumineth, you're kind of in a lurch, because you're either going to do really, really well or really, really poorly. The difference is Lumineth don't need their spells to be good, and you kind of do. Now, you've got a lot of power in things like Zangors, Zangor Enlightened, the Demons of Tzeentch, who don't need the spellcasting, but if you want to play the summon game, you really need your spellcasting. And thankfully, they have changed the Lords of Change a little bit, where you're going to get good things. They don't have to be spellcasting to be good. You still don't want to ram Kairos into combat, because yes, he's a big scary monster, but he's also made of paper. Swing and miss at him, he's going to die of pneumonia. So you need to find the balance with this army between your hammer and your scroll, if you will. You've got to balance the magic with the punch. Cursling's a great way to do that. Demons are a great way to do that. Zangors are a great way to do that. Screamers are a great way to do that. Now, if you're going into Tzeentch, make sure that you've got non-caster ways to deal with their spells. Caradron, Fire Slayers, things that don't have to cast to unbind, are going to eat Tzeentch alive, because they don't need spellcasting. They won't have any wizards that Tzeentch is going to be able to capitalize on, and at the same time, they're still going to be unbinding Tzeentch's spells to curb their summoning. So if you're going into Tzeentch, dwarves. If you see dwarves across the table from you, ram into them with your Zangors as hard as you can, kill their heroes, make sure they can't stop your casting. I love this Battletome, which I may be a little biased because Tzeentch is one of my favorite armies. You know, if it comes to Tzeentch, Dark Elves, or Skaven, I'm your guy. But I really love the way this Battletome is constructed. I love the rules. I love the changes. It doesn't feel oppressive, but it also doesn't feel like it's just going to get bowled over. It feels like this is the first real balanced Battletome I've seen from Games Workshop in a very long time, and I really hope this is a sign of things to come, because this is just an absolutely incredible tome. I can't really find anything to be sad about, but there's also nothing in it that I'm like, wow, that's going to break the game. I'm really excited for this book. I think it's the best Tzeentch has ever been, and I'm excited to play them going forward. If you want to get more Tzeentch goodness and see how they fare against the duplicitous Lumineth from Hysh, check out our Arcane Cataclysm unboxing right over here. And if you wouldn't mind leaving us a like and subscribe, we would really appreciate it. It helps our channel grow and helps us to bring more fun content like this. I'm Clint with Bowles. Thank you very much. See y'all later.